Is there anybody listening? Is there anyone that sees what's going on? Read between the lines, criticize the words they're selling. Think for yourself and feel the
my sweet Lord, ooh, my Lord, my sweet Lord. I really wanna see you, I really wanna be with you, I really wanna see you, Lord, but it takes so long, my Lord, my sweet Lord. My Lord, oh my Lord, I really wanna know you, I really wanna go with you, I really wanna show you, Lord, that it won't take long, my Lord. Hallelujah, my sweet Lord. Hallelujah, oh my Lord. Sweet Lord, hallelujah. I really wanna see you, I really wanna see you, I really wanna see you, Lord, I really wanna see you, Lord, but it takes
Seems like yesterday, but it was long ago. Janie was lovely, she was the queen of my nights. There in the darkness with the radio playing low. The secrets that we shared, the mountains that we moved, cold like a wildfire out of control. So there was nothing left to burn, nothing left to prove. And I remember what she said to me, how she swore that it never would end. I remember how she held me up so tight. Wish I didn't know now what I didn't know then. Against the wind, we were running against the wind. We were young and strong, we were running against the wind. Years rolled slowly past, and I found myself alone, surrounded by strangers I thought were my friends. Find myself further and further from my home, and guess I lost my way. There are so many roads. I was living to run and I was running to live. Never worried about paying or even how much I owed. Moving 8 miles a minute for months at a time, breaking all of the rules that would bend. I began to find myself searching for shelter again and again. Against the wind, oh, a little something against the wind. I found myself seeking shelter against the wind. Those drifted days are past me now. I've got so much more to think about. Deadlines and commitments, what to live in, what to leave out. Against the wind, I'm still running against the wind. I'm older now, but still running against the wind. Well, I'm older now and still running, oh, against the wind. Against the wind, running against the wind, against the wind. Well, I'm still running against the wind. I'm still running against the wind. Oh, I'm still running. Still running against the wind. I see the young man run. Watch that young man run against the wind. Watch that young man running. He'll be running against the wind. Oh, yeah. Let that cowboy run against the wind.
Good morning and welcome back to the Trailer Park. I am Chanda-Masta and this is Hello Monday, and holy Hello Monday it's going to be. Oz and I have built you a 100 slide deck, so there's so much to talk about. Let's see. I did do a little tweaking on the studio, so let me get the chat in here. How is everybody on this Monday morning? Oh, come on. I love both those covers. Those were both good. You got some biscotti? Oh my gosh, I'm so jealous, Mastermind. That sounds delicious. Oh, I crave sugar and I can't have it, of course. How's my sound this morning? I switched out my mic cord yesterday and cleaned my studio up a little bit, so hopefully my sound's coming in good. Ooh, I look like I'm tapping out. Maybe I'm a little too loud. Let me know out there how my sound is. Looking good, sounding good. Red Cloud, why don't you have a wrench? Okay, well, now you do. Duck, here comes your wrench. Good morning, Chad. So, as you guys know, we are not up on Beauty and the Boomer this morning. And why is that? Well, that is because YouTube hit us with a strike from January 26th of 2021. Yes, 2021. That's right. Medical misinformation. What was happening in January of 21? Oh, that's right. An experimental jab that we warned you about. So, I don't know. Some people are allowed to talk about it on YouTube. Some of us are not. So, as you may notice, Oz has pinned a new channel into the chat. Please be sure to follow it. It's, what is it called? Shanda and Oz After Dark, or Oz and Shanda After Dark? Sorry. I don't know which one it is. But make sure you're following the backup channel because they've hit us twice in 2 weeks. We have a feeling they're coming for us, and we just want to make sure you guys can find us. And you can always find us on Rumble. You can always find us on Rockfin, of course. Rockfin is where we were allowed to grow. But Rockfin's got its issues, man. I watch AM wake up over there in the morning, and it just shuts off for some reason. It's the craziest thing. So yeah, we wanted to let you know that we reviewed your content and we think it violates our medical misinformation policy. We know you have to realize this violation of our policy, so we did not apply a strike to your channel. So they gave us a warning. We've had 2 warnings in a row. If we've taken many strikes on our channel, and we've been really good about light footing around them, and we back off the channel for a while and we go to our other channels. So whatever. Of course, FedTube. Yeah, right. And so we're not up on the channel that we're actually monetized on, which, whatever. We don't make any money over there anyways. So fair use. Everything that we are talking about today is just merely my opinions, and you're allowed your opinions as a First Amendment right. Remember, we were all born with them. Yeah, but YouTube seems to have forgotten that. And just one shout out here, you guys. As much as it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and it is, Lung Cancer Awareness Month, and we're going to talk about that. I would ask for donations at this time, and the GoFundMe has really staled out. I haven't really been pushing it though, but our brother Rome, he needs our help, guys. He needs bail money, it sounds like. Of course, Rome has done some amazing mutual aid for his community. He built a library. You see him out there collecting and distributing stuff for the people in his community, just food and groceries. And he's just got such a big heart. And yeah, I stand with Brother Rome for sure. And just get the word out there. We need to raise money. He needs money for his legal defense. And you can imagine he's a very outspoken black man in his community, and I'm sure the local cops just love to fucking beat him down and fuck with him. So let's support Rome. We've always featured Rome on this show. I think, he contributes so much to the conversation, and it just breaks my heart to think of him being incarcerated at this time. So I'm not going to ask for you guys to help me out today. I'm going to ask for you guys to help Rome out today and share this GoFundMe, man. Let's get it out there and get it moving. I'm shocked to see how little support it had yesterday when I saw it go up. So everybody in that picture should be out there telling people to help Rome. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to help Rome. So yes, this is Lung Cancer Awareness Month. Lucky me, huh? The same month that I lose my hair, start chemo and radiation. So I have signed up to be an advocate with the American Lung Association because, hey, this is what lung cancer looks like. And here, I'm going to show you guys. It's gone. But I feel like I look like Joyanne Reed without my hair, without my hat on. Or you know who else I look like? Remember the guy that was in the Biden administration that was stealing everybody's luggage? Yeah, who was that guy? I can't remember. What was he? He was some part of their administration. It was freaking hilarious. Yeah, that's who I look like right now, I feel like. But it's hard to feel like myself lately. You guys know my hair was so much of my identity, and I'm not so vain that I have to have my hair, but yeah, I've got a couple of wigs. They just look fake and phony, and they're itchy and scratchy. I look like Sinead. Yeah. I was a cheerleader in high school when Sinead was popular, and I shaved my head, and the cheerleading coach went crazy. So I showed you guys. I'm going to put my hat back on because it's cold. My head is always freezing. Let's see if I can get this back on without messing it up. Where's my flowers? I want my flowers. There we go. Okay. I'm not ashamed to go bald right now, but with this B4 movement, we really got to talk about it. I don't want to be lumped in with those crazy bitches. So I look like Joyanne. You look nothing like Joyanne Reed. Aw, you guys are so sweet. Thank you. I definitely look like that guy that was stealing luggage for the Biden administration. I can't remember what he held. Was he like, God, what was his spot in the administration? I can't remember. I know we made fun of him like every day. It was just too funny. Anyways, it is Lung Cancer Awareness. Make sure you're screaming for CAT scans. If you were a smoker for many years, scream for a CAT scan. Get your doctor to just do a basic test, and they can find most lung cancers on a CAT scan. So prevention, getting ahead of it. Like, I might have a chance to live because we caught mine early. Thank God that I slapped that stupid hormone patch on and it freaked my body out. So that's what we're gonna do. We've got so much to talk about. Craziness happening in the world today. Let's see. Let's start out. Oh, let's hear from Miss Nancy Pelosi. She's out there telling everybody that she doesn't understand why the Dems lost. She don't look happy.
There's no point in saying good morning, because it certainly is not one.
There's no point in saying good morning. It certainly is not one. Yeah, and just like that, the cackling stopped. Oh my gosh, are you so thankful the cackling stopped? I am so thankful the cackling stopped. Okay, let's get the chat brought up in here. Let's get our good morning hellos in there. Grapentine, good to see you. Good morning. Mouse FS, Nahilo, good to see you. Yes, I am on top of the Rome thing, guys. Mastermind, good to see ya. Shanda could be the lead singer of Fleetwood Mac. I could. I wish I had the voice like Stevie Nicks. Kate, good morning, Kate. I'm sending out cards. I finally got around to thank you cards this weekend. So some of you guys keep an eye on the mail. Red Cloud, I finally got you a wrench. Jilly Love, there's Jilly. I got some stuff on the deck from Jilly. Let's see who else is in here. Johnny Kringles. Is that Kringles? Good to see ya. Sexy. Aw, thank you guys for making me feel good. Kareen, good to see you. And yes, on top of the Rome thing for sure. Steve Guy, thank you so much for joining me this morning. You guys know I'm not on both channels, so if you want to share, you can. Popeye's in the house this morning. Popeye, I saw you roasting a bowl. Rich from Wisconsin, good to see ya. Thanks for joining me this morning. Vic, how's it going, Vic? How's the weather where you guys are? It is rainy and crappy here. Oz the Boomer's in the chat. I think he pinned the new channel. The new channel is Shanda and Oz After Dark, so make sure you follow. Johnny, I got you. Let's see. Cold Fusion Gaming, who is that guy? And I think we got all the way to the top. Okay. See if anybody else popped in the bottom. Nope. Okay, we're good. And let's check the Rockfin Rumble. Make sure we're live on those guys. Let's see. Go start. Mr. Worthless Eater hanging out over on the Rumble. Good morning. Hi, Rockfin. Kate's hanging out over there with Death to Tyrants. Good to see you, Death to Tyrants. Hempcar, good to see you too. Kate, you're everywhere. Okay, we got our shout outs out there. I think we might be on Kick too, but yeah, Vic, it's rainy. It's so rainy here. It's just like floody rainy. What is this crap? Go away, Microsoft. Okay, let's get moving on this show. So, it is official, we can say bye to Harris. But they rolled out all these celebrities, thinking that we were just gonna fall at the feet of the celebrities and just go, oh my God, these celebrities all support Harris. This is not aging well for her.
Hey, Kamala. What are we going to say to Donald Trump in November?
Bye.
Hello, motherfucker.
That was funny. Bye. She seems to not want to go away. We hear a lot of talk about them, making her president for like 30 days, or, hey, let's just throw her ass on the Supreme Court because that's a good idea too. What? Yeah, that's what they're saying. Okay, we got to talk about it. I was going to go fully bald today. I really was. But there's this fucking movement out there that started in the last 3-4 days that has kind of co-opted some of us that don't have a fucking choice about being bald. And it's called the B4 movement. And these are angry white women who didn't get their way because most of the country voted against them, and grown adults going into absolute hysterics, filming their deranged, paranoid-fueled meltdowns, posting them, calling off from work today as the same people who think they are more intelligent than you. And let's see, in what should adults behaving this way be calling the shots? Exactly. Why should these type of people be in charge of things? So let's get a few looks at these crazy bitches, because they be crazy, man.
You know, I honestly debated on saying that, but I really feel like someone needs to speak up. Do you know how fucking embarrassing it is to women overseas that actually don't have fucking rights? Do you know how embarrassing it is to people who can't grow hair, who have cancer? Do you realize how fucking stupid you look shaving your head because you're throwing a temper tantrum because you cannot murder a fucking child? I don't feel sorry for you in the least. I really fucking don't. It's absolutely fucking disgusting, the movement that you guys are doing, the 4B, whatever. I mean, it's great for conservatives. It's not gonna be hard to fucking spot you guys, fucking middle-aged women with bald heads, wearing blue bracelets, and yet you wanna call conservatives the stupidest party? Let me give you a rundown real quick, since you don't know your rights. You can buy a car. You can buy a house. You have a job. You have the freedom of speech. You have the freedom of wearing whatever clothes you wanna wear. You're not told how many babies you have to have, or can have. And it all comes down to the same cry of help. Men don't fucking care about us. That's because you're fucking terrible at picking men. And let me end on this. Somewhere out there in the world, somebody just got a notification from a doctor saying that they only have 3 months to live. And you're sitting here fucking whining about one little detail. The world does not revolve around you.
Oh my gosh, I love that. That was perfect. Yeah, I don't have a fucking choice in it, the matter. I would have kept my hair had I been able to keep my hair. And I was told I only had a few months to live if I didn't get my butt into chemo and radiation. I mean, small cell lung cancer is terminal, no matter how hard you fight it, but it's how long can you hold it off, and that's what we're trying to do here at the trailer park. But valid points, and oh God, I don't want to be lumped in with these dumb bitches. I'm embarrassed to go out and go grocery shopping because other dumb people in the stores are going to think that I'm one of these dumb fucking B4 movement people. I don't even know what to do. I'm definitely going to have to wear a wig when I go out, so that way it looks like I have hair. How privileged, how elitist, and it just pisses me off. They don't think about anybody but them damn selves, and they truly think that they are in the right. And I remember being brainwashed by the mainstream media many years ago, many years ago. And you have that righteous indignation, right? That you think that you are right. Nothing you can tell me is gonna change what I think. And I look back at that, and I was just regurgitating MSNBC talking points and, the Washington Post and whatever, whatever bullshit that I was fed. And I never actually had any valid arguments about any policies or issues. And it took many years of being on the ground to realize that. And I realized it. And you had to wake up and take a good look at yourself in the mirror. So, yeah. That's what I'm dealing with. So, okay, I brought you some of these freak out videos. Let's do it. Let's laugh at them.
It's all right.
It's all right.
It's all right. I feel that way too. It's all right. We feel that way together, okay? Let it out.
Let it out.
Let it out.
Oh my God. Talk about a demon. Wow. Wow. These people are unfucking heinous, man.
Everybody wants to show the happy side. I'm mad as hell today!
Oh my God, I don't think I take much more of this woman.
But because I have responsibilities, I'm gonna do these freaking dishes. Whew.
Oh, you're such a slave. You have to do your own dishes. Cute. What in the hell? Okay, this one tops it. This one's even better. Come on, play.
Well, it's been rough. It was not what I was expecting at all, considering some of the rhetoric he has said. I thought we as a nation were smarter, but I guess not. To my transgender and friends and, you know, the people who it affects, as long as you stay alive, they cannot say we don't exist. Being a Satanist means rebelling against them because they're wrong. And as long as you draw a breath, every breath you take is a rebellion. Keep on fighting because you just have to. Hail Satan, hail reason always.
Oh my God. That is just completely freaking deranged. These people, I mean, this is a TDS level that we've never seen before. And I hope they get help, man. I hope Trump passed some mental health freaking shit so these people can get re-educated, right? Remember they wanted to send all the Trump supporters to re-education camps? Yeah, I think maybe they're the ones that need the re-education camps. So let's talk about B4. Now, B4 is actually a co-opted movement. Did you know this? B4 was actually a movement that was started in South Africa to support women who had been murdered and R-worded. Yes, that's right. And then these dumb white bitches in America decided to make it about cutting your man off from sex and shaving your fucking head. So gross. And I wish that true B4 movement people would call their asses out on this shit. So thank you to the viewer who actually tagged me in that post. I had no idea. And that's why I love you guys. You keep me informed. Okay, let's hear some more.
All right. 4B movement starting. You know what we're going to do? We're not going to dye our hair anymore. We're not going to do makeup. We're not going to use filters. We're not going to go get the skin stuff. We're not going to dress up and look nice. Why? So that they can come and act like they own us because we look like this? Absolutely not. No, y'all. The 4B movement means like we going to be cozy comfy in our own skin. And everyone over here is like, yeah, get strapped, get ready, get prepared. But you know what? It's fine. Let's go. Bring it on. You want to fight? I'm ready to fight. Like dueling, let's do this, okay? But at the same time, like, I'm sorry. You do not have control over my reproductive rights. You do not have control over my body. You do not have control over what I do with my body. Because when you try something, just watch what happens. This is being used without a filter. I usually do a filter, but you know what? I'm done using filters. Take it or...
So basically she admits that she uses a filter at all frickin' times. And yeah, she is just done showering, washing, doing anything. These people are insane. She makes no sense. I know. They make absolutely no sense. You're only hurting yourself with these type of stances. There's more though. There's more. Let's see here. What do we got here? Breaking. Oh, this is crazy here. I sent me this morning. Please share. Liberal women on TikTok are advising others to poison men who voted for Trump using the term aquatofan. Aquatofan was a poison created by Gillian Tofan in the 1600s. To murder abusive husbands. These people are literally insane. Yes, they are. And this woman, I didn't bring the video, but the woman was literally mixing something into her husband's coffee. I mean, this is murderous. We have laws against that, you crazy bitches. Yeah, I'm not crazy. They're going off the rails for sure. I mean, I wonder. I didn't bring this story, but did you guys see the story of the guy who killed his family, his whole entire family, took his whole entire family out because Trump won? And I blame mainstream media for that. The fear-mongering that the mainstream media has done for so many years. Come on, we already lived through a Trump presidency. We already know what it's going to be like. A lot of deep state pushing back against him trying to do stuff, not being able to do anything. I mean, well, the mental gymnastics these people are doing is just mind melting. Okay, so this one, she's like the spokesperson of the B4 movement. I see her all over the place. So, and in the background, you'll notice in this video, there's like a gimp suit, like a sex gimp suit hanging in the background. Like, what? This is crazy. See that full body like suit behind her? I think I might have muted this one because of the sound. Let me see. Why don't I have? Oh yeah, I muted it because I don't want to take a strike. But see those things hanging in the background? They're like gimp suits. They're like look, it's like a human body hanging back there. Somebody zoomed in on that stuff. That's crazy. That's crazy. Look at that look. Oh, bring back asylums. Come on. We need them. I should film my mental breakdown and put it online. Never. Do not film your mental breakdowns and put them online. Please. Please don't. None of us want to see this crap. Oh my gosh. Did you see the one where the woman had her daughter, her like 5-year-old daughter, shaving her head for her? Oh, these poor kids, you know? And you know, I learned a lot. When I was a Bernie Sanders delegate, I would take my granddaughter to rallies and protests and whatnot. She would come sign hold with me. And now I look back at that and I shouldn't have done that. I should not have done that. I mean, as much as I want her to be empowered to stand up and fight back against, you know, tyranny or whatever, I was imposing my views onto her. And I see this happening from these women to their kids now. And all you're doing is breaking these poor kids' brains. And what the fuck? Yeah. What the fuck? Oh, but wait, there's more. I didn't even bring you half of the ones I could have. There was so many. Play.
Hi, white woman from Wisconsin here. Sorry to scare you. I just want to share something. I can't believe how strange I feel in my community because I thought I knew or could assume.
No, you assumed, honey. You assumed.
Where we stood. I had no idea 70% of y'all were feeling that way.
Paying attention.
So I was on TikTok all day and saw that we're making bracelets. And I thought, okay, I've got beads. I can make some. My daughter's like, I want one. So I was making bracelets last night. And I ran out of string. And I don't even want to be in a store right now. Because people are walking around like everything's normal. And I'm like, are we in the same universe? And I'm really uncomfortable. I don't want to be around it. So anyways, I went to the craft store and I go to the bead section to buy some string and maybe a few more blue beads. And I see another young woman there buying blue beads. And I just looked at her and I said, are you making bracelets? And she said, yeah. And I said, me too. And she started crying and so did I. And she's like, I just came from therapy. I'm not okay. And I was like, I just got in a fight with my best friend over Project 2025. I'm also not okay. And she's like, can I hug you? And I said, yeah. So I'm just hugging this stranger and in Joanne Fabrics because we're just two white women who just wanted people to know. Not me. It wasn't fucking me. And like, I truly pray to God I am being dramatic right now. And this is overkill, but I can't help it. This is so fucked. And I'm also not one of those white women who you had to wonder. I talk about this shit all the fucking time. I've cut people out. There's people I don't talk to anymore. Made it clear last time.
This is exactly what I'm scared to go out and encounter.
I do not mince words. So maybe it's overkill, but there are people in my community who are like a target and probably don't feel safe. And whatever I can do to maybe soften that a little bit, I'm going to do it. So anyways, if you're in Wisconsin near Milwaukee,
Run.
Let me know if you want a bracelet. I'll send you one.
Let me know if you want a bracelet.
And just to
okay,
get
so
out of this before the pick me Trump supporter girls are in the comments happy that we're sad and overwhelmed and
we're
crying,
happy that you're sad.
and they have
No,
so
we're
much
not.
satisfaction in that.
We're scared. We're scared
You're
of
so
you people.
scared. Hate to break it to you, honey. You fucked yourself big time. So we voted for you. But good luck.
Oh my gosh.
Good luck to any of you with a uterus.
Oh my gosh. Anybody with a uterus, you're totally screwed now. You know, that's just the way it is. Because most of the men in America hate the women in America. That's not how this happens. This is not how this rolls. These people are freaking insane, right? And this is what I'm worried about. Like she says, she went to a Joann's and she saw another woman, and I'm scared to be standing in the line at the Walmart and have some woman look over at me and see that my head is bald and be like, oh, she's one of us, and try to offer me a bracelet or indoctrinate me into their fucking cult. So I will be wearing a wig when I go out to go grocery shopping from now on, because I definitely don't want to be lumped in with these insane motherfuckers. Okay, this lady cracks me up. So this is a comic. She decided to run with the Before movement, and I brought a series of these because they're hilarious. Because this is basically what they all look like, too. They all have the glasses. They all have nose piercings. What's that about? Every single one of these chicks has a nose piercing, and they all have like purple hair or blue.
Okay, I'm gonna guide you through. Now, shave the head. Glasses. I don't know where you get these big glasses, but we all have them. So if you want to be one of us, you've got to find these somewhere in a store. I don't know where I got these, but everybody's got them. The septum piercing. Get that right away. For some reason, that unites us. The passport. Get your passport. You're gonna need it. Plan B. Pharmacy right away. You've got to go to your pharmacy and get your Plan B. And most importantly, you cannot wear a bra ever again. Okay, then there's this. You've got to do this. You've got to tape that baby up. You got to tape it up. I'm going to just tell you, the blue bracelet. Don't forget the blue bracelet. Don't forget the blue bracelet so we know who we are. Okay, I don't know where to get these glasses. We all have them, and I can't tell you where to get them. I don't know. But I'm going to get some duct tape. I don't have any duct tape right now. I only had the packing tape, but I'm getting the duct tape.
That was too good. Okay, I think we have another one from her. Yeah, we do. I think I have 3 of them.
I'm not doing this for me. I'm doing this for us all. Why isn't it working? Why isn't it working? Nothing works anymore. Nothing works anymore. I'm not doing this for me. I'm doing this. I went to Aldi today. Oh, I forgot my safety pins. I went to Aldi today. There was a man.
I don't know if I'm going to get hit for the music in the background of that one, but yeah, safety pins is another thing that they're all freaking sprung on. So if you see a woman with safety pins hanging off of all of her body, then you'll know they're part of the B4 movement. And let's see, one more thing. I love this meme. It says, can we burn things again? And it says, be patient. Because, you know, we all know what the Dems were behind in 2020 with the Black Lives Matter movements and the pallets of bricks and, you know, burning down Wisconsin. You guys remember I did a really good in-depth interview of a person in Wisconsin who literally went into the precinct that was burning and saved people. Do you guys remember that? Right at the very beginning of all of, you know, our channels. I did a really good interview. I'll have to go find that. I think it was called Brickgate.
As one of the leaders of this movement, I have been messaged so many times to come up with a solution, a more permanent solution than blue bracelets and safety pins, so that, like, when we're in the pickup line at school, we know how to identify each other. And some people suggested a tattoo, so I did go get my tattoo. I suggest everybody get this so that, like, when you're in the pickup line at school and you need to know what parents you can talk to, you just have to go like this.
Oh, that's too funny. The comedy writes itself this week for sure. Okay, so let's see. The mass formation psychosis we are seeing intensifying to a level of schizophrenia proportional will continue until someone makes the mainstream media accountable for the psychological warfare that has been unleashed upon the people. And that's exactly it. These people are fed fear by TDS, BS, MSMBS every day, and they have not backed off. I mean, we saw it yesterday with the Sunday morning talk shows, right? State of the Union, and you had Dana Bash out there, and you got Joy-Ann Reid. They just won't shut up that the world's coming to an end because Trump was elected by a super fucking majority. I mean, there was a mandate. Like, that's how many people voted for Trump. And yeah, the TDS never ends. But you couldn't talk about TDS without including Kathy Griffith into the mix. So let's check off. She gets the fuck off pie for Monday morning. Let's see why she gets the fuck off pie. Play.
I don't think that our beloved country, America,
Carrot Top's looking
knows
bad,
what it's
man.
in for with a
Carrot Top's looking rough.
fascistic society and dictator. I'm not being hyperbolic.
Yeah, you
I'm
are.
not being dramatic.
Yeah, you are.
I have said this on tapes before, but
Her
I
face is
am
as tight as a
shocked
drum,
and
man.
crushed at how many people I personally know did not vote or felt like there was no difference between the candidates.
There wasn't.
Or just were too self-involved to learn anything about it. And that makes me sad.
You're sad. I'm sorry.
And, you know, just because I live in California and have a lot of protections other states don't, doesn't mean there won't be a federal ban on abortion. And although I know that's sort of funny.
Oh, but
me
your
worrying
precious
about
Dems
abortion,
could have
but
ratified
just being
it
a
many,
lifelong
many times, but
feminist,
they
I
didn't.
worry about all of it. And the fact that the boys should be just as worried, because if you're really living in sort of the Trumpian, Christo-fascist, mega church, I think Trump is stopping child trafficking, QAnon world, then if your son gets a girl pregnant and they're both 15, then you, of course, will force that they marry and keep having as many Duggars
Oh
as
my
possible.
God. I'm so over the Handmaid's
So
Tale
it's going to
bullshit.
be a Duggar America, everybody. Remember how that one ended? Okay, you know what? We're going to keep fighting.
Have you guys heard the
And,
conspiracy that she's Anderson Cooper's
You
twin?
know, Trump will crumble. I mean, he's he's not looking too healthy these days. And then
He looks
President
pretty good
Vance
for eating Big Macs and
will
drinking
be
Diet Cokes all day
terrifying
long.
and horrible because he's as crazy as Trump, but he's smart. So,
He's
and
not a celebrity.
the way
Yeah.
things are going in this
She
country,
thinks
could then
she
get
is.
reelected. We could have
She used to be a comedian.
President Vance for 8 years, which I kind of wish some of my friends had thought about yesterday that weren't voting. So now we're paying the price,
It's a non-voters.
and
that it's
freedom
their fault.
isn't free, and we've been free. And technically, we're still a democracy.
Honey, we're not a
The
democracy.
inauguration's going to be a shit show.
We're a republic.
Remember how crazy his speech was last
We're a
time?
constitutional
American
republic.
carnage and all that stuff. Even George W. Bush famously said that was some weird shit. It's going to be weirder and scarier. But I just want to put this out there
Wish.
again. Gays, you may not be safe. So
'Cause
to
I
be
say
gay
so.
in America, much less trans, because they're obsessed with trans people, to be LGBT in
I
America
want to pay for trans people. That's all.
is not going to be a safe thing anymore. So, to be a woman in America will be even less safe than it already is. So, take care of each other, have plans, make
She's a
sure
man
you
hater.
know how to gather support if you're afraid to walk down the street.
Oh, God, how much longer? Okay, well, I'm just going to stop that. Who wants to keep listening to this rambling bullshit? So, fuck off pie goes to Cassie Griffin. Fuck off. Take a cup of no one cares, a dash of kiss my ass, and add some fuck yous and a pinch of blow me and shove it straight up your ass. Yeah, these people are just flat insane. Jimmy Kimmel, he had a complete meltdown and bawled his eyes out on screen the other day. I hear his last show is going to be January 20th, and then he's moving out of the United States. Yay, let us hope so. Oz created this slide for us. Let's see what it has.
Let's be honest, it was a terrible night last night. It was a terrible night for women, for children, for the hundreds of thousands of hardworking immigrants who make this country go, for healthcare, for our climate, for science, for journalism, for justice, for free speech. It was a terrible night for poor people, for the middle class, for seniors who rely on Social Security, for our allies in Ukraine, for NATO, for the truth and democracy and decency. And it was a terrible night for everyone who voted against him. And guess what? It was a bad night for everyone who voted for him, too. You just don't realize it yet.
Oh, my gosh. Oz, that was so bad. Okay, so do you guys might remember Jimmy Kimmel kind of got caught up in the Me Too movement when it was actually a thing, which it was always a co-opted thing, and they only Me Too'd people that they wanted to Me Too, not actual people that should have been Me Too'd. But yeah, remember this. He's sick and disgusting. Come on, play.
Tell us what you think of the statue.
But he respects women so much.
I mean,
he's not a grabber by the pussy type of guy.
I mean, do you think that she's attractive or not? Take another look at it.
Well, who would have thought the host of The Man Show would be crying because women lost? I don't know who made that joke, but somebody made that joke, and it's hilarious because, of course, he used to host The Man Show, which I always thought was just repugnant and gross. Let's see. Oh, and let's not forget that Jimmy Kimmel's name keeps coming up in the Diddy files a lot. Like, him and Diddy were good buddies, and they hung out all the time. If you had told 20-year-old me the Man Show the host of The Man Show would cry because a woman lost an election, I might have smacked you. Yeah, for sure. Oh, poor Justin Bieber. I'm going to do a deep dive into Diddy. I'm just kind of waiting for it to get through, the beginning court stages, because there's just so much, and we're waiting on so much to be unsealed. So the grand jury's got a lot of shit sealed. There's a lot of rumors. There's a lot of, people out there talking and telling their stories about being at Diddy parties. So I am going to do a Diddy dive for you guys. You know it, as we get closer to actual trial time. So trial supposedly tentatively set for May. We will get into it. You guys will get all of the good stuff by then. Revolutionary Blackout Network says Kamala Harris lost because she went too far left. What? No, that's funny, huh? Yeah, too far left. This she went too far left shit is just cracking me up. Oh my God, she's a communist. She went too far left. That's why she lost. Like, you obviously don't understand what communism truly is, because this bitch is not a communist at all. She is a capitalist with a capital C, and you can tell that by the $1 billion she raised. Let's see what she had to say.
I will ensure America always has the strongest, most lethal fighting force in the world. That America, not China, wins the competition for the 21st century. Trump, on the other hand, threatened to abandon NATO. He encouraged Putin to invade our allies. Said Russia could, quote, do whatever the hell they want.
Oh my gosh. Can you imagine if she had won? Raise your hand if you think it's a good idea if we get the fuck out of NATO. Yeah, what has NATO done? All we do, we pay for everything in NATO, like Trump said many years ago, and we've broken every promise that we gave Russia all the way back to the fall of the Berlin Wall, saying we would not move NATO 1 inch. And then when we shoved NATO straight up Putin's ass, we all freaked out. Oh my God, Putin's attacking everybody. Did you guys see Zelensky yesterday? Yeah, he did a morning show. I can't remember which one, but the commentator asked him, how do you keep going? And I'm like, cocaine, cocaine and money. But he dropped an F-bomb on national TV because, Trump lost, so now it's time to whip out some profanity. And he did it in his little crazy voice. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I didn't bother to bring that, but it's out there. Now the Pooh has been losing their collective shit all week. And I brought you clips on Thursday, because we did a show on Thursday, because there was so much to talk about. So no one notices the entire cast of The View is replaced by squealing feral pigs. Oh, that's sexist. Hold on. Let's hear what they had to say.
I disagree.
All right.
I think that I'd like to reframe the conversation. I think Bernie Sanders is wrong. I think the more relevant question actually is, what is wrong with America? I think what is wrong with our country
It's you,
that the Republican Party would choose as a candidate and support a candidate who is an insurrectionist, who is an election denier, who is someone who is twice impeached, 34-time convicted felon, someone who has been accused of alleged sexual misconduct by 26 women, found liable for sexual abuse.
With no evidence.
What is wrong with this country that they would choose a message of divisiveness, of xenophobia, of racism, of misogyny, over a message of inclusiveness, a message for the people, by the people, of the people. That's what the problem is. It's the Republican Party.
But can I
what's wrong with
say
America?
something before? We can do a second.
I wish Meghan McCain
the Democrats
was
are
still
the
on
ones. They are the party that cares for the blue collar
Exactly.
voter. The Democrats are the ones who put in Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, union protection,
ACA.
unemployment
They care
insurance, and
about you.
Obamacare. The Republican Party doesn't give a rat's patootie about
clearly
it.
they didn't convince
Come on.
the voters of
So
that.
all I can deduce is that it's the messaging. It didn't get through to people. They're not paying attention. That's all.
Yeah,
because the Democrats have always been for the working people.
Exactly. And the Republicans
As long
don't
as
care
I'm on
I
this
think
planet.
the message of the Democrats sounded elitist. You don't have value in the society
They
if you don't have a
sounded
college
that way,
degree.
but when you look at the bills,
yeah,
warrants.
but Joy,
No
it's
one was saying
condescending.
that.
It's
On the
condescending.
Democratic side.
There is
What's condescending?
The way that the left speaks to its voters. It really is
A message of joy and inclusiveness?
No, the message of not being educated, being dumb, and what's wrong with America.
Who said that?
Sonny just did.
What is wrong with
Joy,
America?
My point here is that
that's not what Kamala Harris said.
No.
That's what I'm saying.
My point is, I don't blame Joe Biden. I don't blame Kamala Harris. Go back as far as you want. I blame a messaging within the Democratic Party.
You don't blame the Republican
Party? Can I just
Party at
finish
all?
my point, please? I obviously have a problem. Anyone has a problem with Donald Trump. The bigger question should be, yes, Sonny, why did they vote for him?
Yes.
In sweeping...
So they need to be introspective.
No, we need to be introspective. If we voted for Kamala Harris, we need to say what didn't resonate with the voters. Do you know what didn't resonate with the voters? When they were saying we don't feel safe and the left focused on defund the police and bail reform. Yeah. When they said we're worrying about... Can I just finish? Let me just finish real quickly. When they were focused on renaming...
It's only an hour show, ladies.
Joy, when they were focused on renaming schools, there were people saying, hey, students are destroying colleges. I paid for that. I sent them there. They can't learn. And everyone apologized for it and didn't want to attend to it. They also denied the border was a crisis and kept saying, no, it's fine. This is not a...
There was a border bill, though. There was a border bill.
Yes, but Joy, my point is they screamed and screamed and screamed. They didn't vote for him because he's a racist or a misogynist. They voted because they needed help in their everyday lives.
But Sarah,
the majority of this country, because there's every stat coming out on the people willing to self-reflect are showing these.
Oh, wait, they're going to say I'm a racist and a misogynist in the exit poll?
You really think 74 million people are racist? Every racist and misogynist voted for Donald Trump. Not everyone that voted for Donald Trump was a racist and misogynist.
I agree with that.
Everyone swept. They swept every category, and the reason they did is to say, hey, guys, no excuses this time. Yeah.
Look,
they lost everything.
There's still half the country
allows
that doesn't
its
agree with
environment to
him.
be ravaged, its children to be shot, its wealth to be hoarded, its worker to be exploited, its poor to starve, its cops to murder.
So because Biden
the country in trouble.
in trouble.
So America,
Shall we go to the next?
Trump is not going to make it better.
Anna, hold it for the next segment, right? We'll be right back. Hold it.
Oh, it's so bad. Oh, it just makes me mad. It makes me angry. So I'm going to tell you, as a poor white woman who's lived in the trailer park and has spent a good majority of her life in and out of the welfare fucking system, welfare is always better under the Republicans than it ever is under the Democrats. And why is that? Because they use the Democrats to cut programs like they did under Bill Clinton that they can never get away with under the Republicans because the Democrats will scream and virtue signal about it. So I'm actually looking forward to Uncle Trumpy being back in control of that. Don't let us forget how much stimulus money you got from Uncle Trump versus the one you got from Biden. Remember, Biden skimmed a couple of hundred right off the fucking top and said, oh no, you don't need that much, where Trump was just like, hey, here, I gave you stimulus. Look, my name's on it. Remember, my name's on that shit when you go to vote. Yeah, these guys, I keep seeing these posts out there about, well, don't come crying to me when your Social Security and your health care is gone. You voted for this. And I'm like, that is said as somebody who truly doesn't understand the plight of the people on welfare in this country. So, yeah, entertaining to watch those pigs fight. But James Carver had to even admit some of the truth, it seems like. And, oh, God, he's looking like Jimmy Carter nowadays. A little crypt keeper, but let's hear from him.
And told Adam DeGurney, we didn't even get a chance to kick the tires. We just said, you're buying the car, and you have no choice. And, of course, we bought the car. And I think if this campaign is reducible to one moment, we're in a 65% wrong track country. The country wants something different. And she's asked, is so often the case in a friendly audience on The View, how would you be different than Biden? It's the one question that you exist to answer. All right? That is it. That's the money question. That's the one you want. That's the one that everybody wants to know the answer to. And you freeze. You literally freeze and say, well, I can't think of anything. And once you get in it, so we said 65% want something different. We are just not going to give in to them, but maybe the odiousness of Trump combined with the Dobbs decision, we can overcome it. Well, we didn't overcome it. But when we go back and history unearths this, it's going to be right there on The View. And I think her name was Sunny Houston or whatever. Asked the question. And that's the most devastating answer you could imagine.
So it's Sunny's fault. It's Sunny's fault. Let's blame Sunny from The View. It's her fault that she asked that question of Harris, and Harris couldn't come up with an answer in real time. But can you imagine if she was actually elected president? Oh, we had those moments of premonitions of like what it would be like if she was in power. And thank God they did not come to fruition, because that's scary. Nico House, let's see. And just like that, 15-ish million fake Democrat voters from the 2020 election disappeared. Isn't it crazy that, remember those 80 million votes that Biden got, are all of a sudden our numbers are back down to where they were in 2016? It's almost like they did something to our election in 2020. I don't know. Let's hear from Nico House.
Ladies and gentlemen, as you all know by now, Kamala got her ass handed to her by Donald Trump. And as you can imagine, the blame game has already started. And in a second, I'm gonna tell you why all that's bullshit. First of all, my apologies to my Hispanic brothers out there. I have never seen y'all catch so many strays from the Democratic establishment.
There's misogyny. But it's not just misogyny from white men. It's misogyny from Hispanic men.
Latinos in Texas, a district that's 97% Latino, went 75 percentage points for Donald Trump. Why?
Misogyny.
It's on the border. And they were begging people to care about it for years. We need to take some lessons.
That's what that was.
The lessons are not.
Knock. Who's there? Oh my gosh, it's whooping.
And now, Kamala's loss, apparently according to the liberal media, is completely on y'all. I don't know what's up with that, man. Okay. But don't worry, us brothers are getting our fair share of the blame too. Because according to Joe Scarborough, Morning Joe, Joanne Reed, and just about every other liberal pundit, black men are just too misogynistic, and we can't stand the thought of a black woman leading us. I guess I need to call my mom and talk to her about this imaginary beef that we have, because apparently I don't like to be led by black women, despite the fact that a black woman is probably the most important person in my life. Even white men! Actually, white men didn't get that much to blame, surprisingly enough. I guess they didn't really have high expectations of y'all. Even women, overall, ran away from Kamala in droves. And black women may have voted for her more than they voted for Trump, but compared to how they went out there and voted for Obama, it won't even close. Oh, let's not forget how liberals have gone full Islamophobic against Palestinians, Arabs, and Muslims. I've seen tweets like, I can't wait until Trump turns Palestine into a parking lot. Which goes to show a lot of these liberals were probably born the morning after the election. Because Kamala Harris and Joe Biden already assisted in turning Gaza into a parking lot. It's already happened, my guy. That's why they didn't vote for y'all. But was it really sexism, misogyny, racism, all these isms that liberals are blaming Kamala's loss on that caused her the election? Because I'm actually willing to entertain the possibility that racism and sexism can play a part in the outcome of an election. I believe that can happen. See, but if that's the case, I need y'all to explain to me how sexism and misogyny and racism led to the Republicans taking the Senate back. Like I said, if we're all really to blame, if it's sexism and misogyny and racism and internalized racism, why did the Democrats lose a seat in the House only for the Republicans to gain another one and maintain the majority in the House? They didn't flip anybody. If it's misogyny and sexism and racism, why did every single Republican governor incumbent win their re-election handedly? You see that dark red? That means they were incumbents and it wasn't even close. Democrats didn't come close to sniffing a victory. Now, somebody making a decent argument might say that the sexism and the racism from the Kamala camp that they were receiving was carried over into other elections. See, but here's the problem with that argument. Let's look at the state of Missouri, for example, that voted to maintain the incumbency of Josh Hawley of all people, but voted to legalize abortion. How strange, because I was told that Kamala didn't win because the world doesn't care about women's rights and Republicans don't care about women's rights, but Missouri is firmly red. Or how super red Missouri, mostly Republicans, voted to increase the minimum wage again. Or despite the fact that Republicans have been staunchly running on being tough on crime, Missourians actually voted against an initiative to authorize benefit funding for law enforcement. So what I'm telling you is all over the country, progressive policies passed in states they had no business being passed in. But Republicans, instead of Democrats, are running the show now. They like progressive policies. They just don't like you motherfuckers. They just don't like Kamala. They just don't like the Democrats. They have decided as a nation that even though the Democrats managed to convince a lot of people that Trump is the worst thing that could ever happen to the country, that 4 years later, it was like, actually, never mind. He might have been the worst thing that happened to the country, but it's actually y'all who are the worst thing that has happened to this country. As fearful as independent-leaning people who have not genuinely committed to one party or the other might be of Republicans or Trump, they are more terrified of Democrats. Not leftist policies, Democrats. They weren't voting for Trump. The majority of those people were voting against the system. And right now, Democrats need to face the fact they represent the worst aspects of the most corrupt political system in the world. At least that's the perspective of the average voter in the United States right now. So although Kamala was the presidential candidate who lost, and she ran an awful campaign, that doesn't necessarily explain why everybody else around the country from the Democratic Party got their asses handed to them. Despite the fact Democrats have done everything in their power to paint Trump as the boogeyman. But maybe it's time for y'all to do a little bit of self-reflecting. Because you can't blame sexism and racism when your entire party is losing. And when y'all figure that shit out, maybe y'all can start winning elections again.
Yeah, they like losing. They make money on losing, Nico. You know it. So, the exception to that rule was here in Washington State, we elected a new governor, Bob Ferguson. And Bob Ferguson really set himself apart from the establishment Dems long ago. I've known Bob. I followed Bob. I've been to many of Bob's fundraisers over the years. But he was an attorney who loved to take on big corporate interests that are screwing the little people. And I think that resonated with the voters. And that is why he won. Not to mention that the Republican candidate that was running against him was just terrible. His name was Reinhardt. He was a part of the Green River Killer Task Force, if you remember back in those days. But that was the exception that we saw around the country, just that one race. Stacey Abrams. What's Stacey Abrams crying about? I remember in 2016. I remember. Okay, let's hear what she remembers. She's an idiot. We know.
I remember 2016. I remember inauguration 2017. I remember that the last time we found ourselves facing this set of dynamics, we sparked a resistance. It was a decision that was grounded in not knowing what was to come. We just knew what we'd been told, and we saw what we could see, and we pushed back. We railed against, and as more and more evidence piled up, we organized and we persisted. And in so many ways, it worked. In fact, for a brief moment,
did it work?
We united
Trump's
against racism and sexism, homophobia and ableism,
Burned
and
down a
those
town
who
in
would do
Wisconsin.
any of us
That's
ill.
right.
We came together. And then it started to fall apart again, or so it seems. Because November 5th happened, and they're back. And they've written Project 2025, and they've
so
used
tired of hearing about
invective
Project
and
2025.
insult and promises to tell us what they will do. And now we know what to expect. Unlike 2016, we know what could happen because we have a Supreme Court that said we're going to not hold them accountable, because we have a U.S. Senate that has suborned and supported and refused accountability, because we have a president-elect who has told us what he intends to do. And now we know that while millions agree with the harm that he has promised, we also have to remember that millions did not agree, and they spoke up. But I want to focus on the 60 million that didn't believe their views mattered enough
It's
to
the
show up at the
non-voters
polls.
again. It's their fault.
We need to be curious about why they didn't come. We need to
the
be
Democrats
worried
suck
about
and
what
stab them in the
worries
back
them.
constantly.
We need to lean in
You didn't
this
have an
moment
open primary
and
for the
think
last
about
10
the
fucking
60 million,
years?
not the 71, but the 60. Because unlike 2016,
Nut job.
we cannot think that it is enough
agree,
to
red
just resist, that it's sufficient to persist. Detente.
I bet they'll get
Just
those scarves
accepting
back
what
out.
we
They were
have
selling
isn't enough.
resist scarves back in the
And so
day,
this
remember?
time, we must insist. We must insist on a government and leaders that
There is
respect
no
us and
energy
our
inside the
needs.
Democratic Party.
And that
Definitely
doesn't
not
just
locally.
mean president and our federal government. I'm talking about the zoning committees
feel like showing
that
up
are
my local
forcing higher rents because they
headquarters, just
refuse to
laughing at 'em.
adjust. And the school board where your children or your neighbor's kids are being denied books and the truth.
The
I'm talking
Republicans are
about
denying your
insisting
kids
on
books.
speaking up when we see wrong or when we need more. No more
wish.
polite acceptance or making excuses for prejudice. We have to demand better of ourselves and of our
You
leaders.
guys are the ones being prejudiced,
We
blaming this
must
shit on black
insist
men and
on
freaking
fighting
Hispanics.
for our rights, even if we think we're going to lose, because the record will show that we tried, that we filed lawsuits and lodged complaints and put TikToks out there if we still have TikTok.
Oh my God, not
that we
TikTok.
had social
If we
media
still have TikTok.
solutions that we
Wasn't it the
shared,
Dems that were trying
and
to
we
ban
made
TikTok?
history report on our efforts. We must insist. We must insist on being more important than anyone's
Make it
wallet
stop. Make it
or
stop.
their wishful thinking that it's not that bad. Because those who would sanction bigotry to justify profit or their own comfort should be held accountable, and we must insist. We must insist on holding power, even if it makes us uncomfortable, and even if they tell us it is not
You guys
ours
can't
to
hold
hold.
power.
We must
you can't hold
insist
it. Prove
on
that.
believing in our own power and the good change that we have.
Okay, I can't take no more of it. Just disgusting. So out of touch. So out of freaking touch. Let's blame everybody but ourselves, and this is what the Democratic Party does and has done for many, many years. They screwed over the everyday working people who took their energy inside the Democratic Party in 2016, supporting a candidate that they thought was actual grassroots. We now know better. And because they wanted to implement actual change. When that energy came into the Democratic Party and they could have utilized it to build their party stronger, they gaslit us, they talked down to us, they freaking vetoed us, they ran us out of the party, they did everything they fucking could to make sure that the working class vote that moved into the Democratic Party was crushed under the corporate freaking top down message that was coming from the DNC, from the likes of Hillary Clinton and Stacey Abrams. So shut up, these people are so unaware, so unself-aware. I love this picture. We did it, Hillary. We ignored our base. And that's exactly it. They've ignored the base years and years and years and years. And why is that? Because under President Bill Clinton, they figured out that they could go for that corporate cash. They didn't need the everyday working man to support them at a grassroots level. They could do like the Republicans and take a fucking big old payout and not have to listen to their base. At least the Republicans listen to their base. Come on, start rioting, start a civil war so we can declare a state of emergency and roll out our agenda. Yeah, Soros would love that, right? I remember back in the day, man, I'd be called a conspiracy theorist just for bringing up Soros. If you brought up Soros, like, oh my God, you're a conspiracy theorist. How dare you blame all the money that the Democrats have on Soros? Follow the money. We've always lived by the motto here to follow the money because the money never lies, honey. It's always going to tell the truth on whoever's pocketing that shit. And it's always Soros who's funding the Democrats in this shit. But now, Alex Soros is in control and he is the boyfriend of Uma Abedin, who used to be Hillary's number one advisor, if you guys remember. Let's see what Chucky Schumer had to say. For every blue collar we lose in the Western Pennsylvania, we will pick up 2 moderate Republicans in the suburbs of Philadelphia, and you can repeat that in Ohio, Illinois, and Wisconsin. How'd that work out for you, Chucky? I don't think that worked out for you, Chucky. Not at all. Let's see. What is this one? Nancy Pelosi suggests Biden leaving race sooner would have helped Democrats in the election. Whoa, did she just say the truth out loud? Well, you had control over that and you didn't want that to happen, remember? Because somebody like Bernie Sanders might have snuck in there and got support of the actual people of this country. Okay, let's see.
What about the families who drowned? 8 families drowned here in Queens. It could have been prevented if we had the right infrastructure.
You are right, brother.
I am right about that.
You are.
And the Chinese have shown that poverty is a choice. Why aren't we working with the Chinese on their Belt and Road Initiative?
Okay,
the bankers run a dictatorship here. We need to pass Glass-Steagall back.
Yes, we do need Glass-Steagall back. We need Citizens
No, the
United.
agenda doesn't address the fact that people are going to die if there's another hurricane. There's been planned shrinkage of benign neglect.
It's not Jose. That's Jose Vega, isn't it? I think this is a compilation of her getting called out.
This is our agenda. This is our agenda. To cut taxes.
Congresswoman, none of this matters unless there's a nuclear war, which you voted to send arms and weapons to Ukraine. Tulsi Gabbard, she's left the Democratic Party because they're a bunch of war hawks. Okay? You originally voted, you ran as an outsider, yet you've been voting to start this war in Ukraine. You're voting to start a thermonuclear war with Russia and China. Why are you playing with the lives of American citizens? You're playing with our lives.
There will be no neighbors if there's a nuclear bomb. You voted to mobilize and send money to Ukrainian Nazis. You're a coward. You're a progressive socialist. Where are you against the war mobilization? He's telling the right truth. You have done nothing. Tulsi Gabbard has shown guts where you've shown cowardice. I believed in you, and you became the
I don't know why
very
anybody
thing you
believed in AOC. We're going to move on from that one. We've seen all these. I always bring these to you. That was just a compilation. Donald Trump offering to pay off Kamala's debt. Did you guys hear this shit? Okay, so apparently she raised $1 billion. $1 billion, and she's $20 million in debt. She didn't get to pay off all of her friends. So every one of these celebrity endorsements that she brought out, she paid for. And she actually ran out of money. She was going to have Alanis Morissette come on and tell you, isn't it ironic? But she didn't have enough money to pay her. She went as far as building a set in a hotel room for the Call Your Daddy podcast. That's right. She didn't want to fly across the country and go back to her home state of California to do the podcast at the original studio of this. Who watches that Call Your Daddy podcast bullshit? I don't. But yeah, they built her a whole entire studio for like, what was it, $100,000 or some fucking crazy shit. But guess who stepped up to the plate and it's offered to help Harris with her debt? Yeah, that's right. None other than Uncle Trump. Trumpy's going to help her pay off her debt. Let's hear about it.
I don't know if y'all heard, but Kamala Harris is $20 million in debt. She raised $1 billion in her campaign, yet she still finds herself with $20 million in debt. Donald Trump is offering to help pay down that debt because his campaign had money left over. That's what he is intending to do. Now, I do have a few other options that might be helpful for Kamala during this difficult time. Option 1, we can send her $750. Option 2, we can collect all the money possible to help and then send it to Ukraine. And my last option would just be, hear her out, see what she has to say about how this could have possibly happened, the mismanage of all this money, and then just tell her how we grew up in a middle-class family and we really liked the lawns of all of our neighbors. That might be helpful. And an honorable mention, could just possibly ask Oprah Winfrey or Taylor Swift to pay for it. What do you guys think she might prefer?
Oh my gosh, how disgusting is that? And they thought that she could manage the countries, economically. Yeah, this is crazy. Maybe she should go get a job at McDonald's. I find this freaking hilarious, and I wonder if Trump will actually pay it off for her. Probably not, but let's see. Secular talk. Oh my God, Kyle. Malibu Kin has been losing his shit and Oz burned him to the ground. This was hilarious. So Kyle says, in a blind test, 80% of voters preferred Kamala's economic policies to Trump's. This is not solely a policy problem. The only part of the Trumpian worth copying is his charisma and controversy. His policies are trash. Imagine a bold Democratic Party with a spine, unapologetic. And Oz tweets out to him, does Crystal know you're back on the sauce again, or is she supplying it? Thanks. I think that one even got a like from Jimmy Dore himself. Good job, Oz, burning him to the ground. Oz and I were out there slaying them this weekend. I got Simon at a beta really good, and it was funny. He said, what would you guys like to see me cover in the future? And I said, cover what you want. Just stop being a bootlicker, a corporate bootlicker. So Bernie Sanders yesterday morning, they dusted him off. They said, Bernie, the Dems are looking really bad. We need you to get out there. Yet again, I'm reminded by people in my community that he's an independent. The fuck he is. He's a Democrat who likes to call himself an independent when he doesn't want to be lumped in with the Dems. But yeah, they dusted him off, and now he's out there, trying to tell them what's wrong with their party, but also running cover and interference at the same time. So, oh, Bernie, you disappoint us. You break our hearts.
Senator, congratulations on your reelection. Nice to have you here. I want to start with the scathing response that you gave after the Democrats lost, Kamala Harris lost pretty big. You said the Democrats abandoned the working class. The chairman of the DNC called it straight up BS and said Joe Biden is the most pro-worker president of my lifetime. Former Speaker Nancy Pelosi said she disagreed with you. She added, quote, Bernie Sanders has not won. Do you stand by what you said?
Bernie has not won.
Oh, absolutely. Look, Joe Biden is a friend of mine.
Joe's
I've been proud to work with him on an agenda which has been very strongly in favor of the working class. Biden promised to be the most progressive president since FDR in many ways on domestic issues. I think he kept his word. But here is the reality.
He's the best president.
The working class of this country is angry. And they have a reason to be angry.
Because you sold out.
We are living in an economy today, Donna, where the people on top are doing phenomenally well, while 60% of our people are living paycheck to paycheck. 25% of elderly people are trying to get by on $15,000 a year or less. We have the highest rate of childhood poverty of almost any major country on earth, and parents all over this country worry that their kids may have a lower standard of living than they do. That is the economic reality. And what Donald Trump did is provided an explanation. He went around, he said, I know you're angry, and the reason is that zillions of illegal immigrants are coming over, and they're eating your cats and dogs and everything else. That's the reason. Well, obviously, that is not the reason. The reason is, in my view, that we have an unprecedented level of corporate greed today, more income and wealth inequality, and
Bernie
people on top want it all. And we need an agenda that says to the working class, we're going to take on these powerful special interests and create an economy and a government that works for you. And by the way, That can't happen unless you get big money out of politics. We got to get rid of the Citizens United Supreme Court decision so billionaires do not continue to buy elections.
And I know that you heard President Biden and Vice President Harris tout over and over the record of supporting workers, helping the middle class. Some of the things that you were instrumental in helping pass, like lowering the cost of insulin. You saw the president walking a picket line. They forgave student loan debt as much as they could. You said yourself in July that he had a strong record, which you just repeated here. So it sounds like it's not maybe as much about policies and more about messaging and communication.
It's not messaging, Donna. It's a fundamental understanding of saying, look, the Biden administration has done a lot of good things. Period. We should all be proud of that. But it has to be put in the broad context of the reality of the American economy today. And that is when you have 3 people on top owning more wealth than the bottom half of American society. When you have millions and millions of people working for starvation wages, you got to speak to that reality. So you could say, look, we're proud of what we have accomplished, but we have so much more to do to create the kind of government and nations that work for all of us and not just the few. That's my critique. It's not that the Biden administration did not do a lot of good things, but it has to be put into an overall context where in the last 50 years, if you can believe it, real weak inflation accounted for weekly wages are lower today than they were 50 years. A massive transfer of wealth from the bottom 90% to the top 1%. That's not Joe Biden's fault. It's not Trump's fault. That's what's gone on for 50 years. Recognize it. Deal with it. Tell the working class that you understand what is going on in their lives. You're going to fight for them.
The top aide, former aide to John Fetterman and Harry Reid.
They just pull the string and Bernie just reiterates whatever the Dems want him to say. And that has been Bernie since August 26th of 2016. And it's very sad to see and watch. And yeah, he gets his few talking points out there about the billionaires and millionaires and, you know, Citizens United. We all know these things. But did he do anything to back those plays that he talks about? No. He comes out here and tells us that Biden was the next F-fucking-DR. No, not at all. He was a one-trick pony. You're right. Bernie was a one-trick pony. Oh, let's see what Demon Hillary had to say.
Of threats that you hear coming out of Donald Trump should scare every American, because with an authoritarian, you never know what side of the bed they'll wake up on. You never know who they're going to be upset with today. You never know if somebody, basically bribes them by giving business to a relative or some other,
because you've never done any of that,
that they will try to destroy one business to advantage another. You just never know, because they don't believe in the rule of law. They don't believe in institutions. And therefore, if you give them a chance to be more unfettered than he was in his first term, when he was trying to figure out what he could do, and he had actually some people around who were restraining him, that is all going to be gone.
Like Bolton,
if he ever gets back near the White House again, it will be like having a dictator. And I don't say that lightly, but go back and read Project 2025. They're going to fire everybody. Oh, the person in, the government who knows about what may be the next pandemic, get rid of him. He didn't vote for me, or I don't, like the way he looks. I mean, just think about the chaos and the instability that we got through with COVID, although it cost hundreds of thousands more lives than it should have, because he was such an inept.
Okay, so let's talk about Project 2025. Yes, Project 2025 is a real thing. It is out there. It is a think tank. It was drafted by a think tank. It was conservative right think tank, the Heritage Foundation. They have been around since the 70s. And there's some terrible, terrible shit in there. But it doesn't mean that Trump is grabbing that entire platform and making it his fucking platform. He's actually said in a couple of different interviews on hey, I like those guys, whatever, they give me money, but I don't know shit about 2025. So the fear mongering that 2025 is just going to be rolled out and that's going to be our new fucking constitution is just stupid. Yes, there'll be cherry picked crap that they will try to run through and shove down our throats. That's what they do. But for her to sit here and say that we're going to be so unstable, when you see the unelected bureaucrats like the FBI, the CIA, the State Department running fucking bullshit interference behind the scenes to undermine our president, which is what we saw in 2016, whether you voted for him or not. He's the president of our country. He's going to be the president of our country again. And these unelected bureaucrats should not be allowed to come in and have their will and their way, bull over policy. And that's exactly what we saw in 2016 all the way into 2020 with the likes of Hillary Clinton leading it. I mean, the Steele dossier and the Russiagate bullshit was out of control, and we hear they're already doing it. We're already hearing that, the Pentagon is already having meetings of how they can do damage control and push back against Trump. They should be embracing their new president and trying to figure out how to work with the president, not fucking undermine him. And but that's what the Democrats do. Did you guys see Jill took Joe for a walk? Yeah, Joe Biden's out there, and the Democrats want you to think he's just playing, that he's just joking. He doesn't actually walk this way. Oh no. Oh shit. Oh, get your legs spread apart. That is your president, ladies and gentlemen. The active president right now. He's playing. Trump's picks are alarming, Jilly, and we're going to talk about him. I got him on the deck. We should be coming up soon. Why do they always send him to the goddamn beach?
Mr. President! Just a word. Mr. President, what are you going to say to Trump on Wednesday?
Try not to fall down.
Mr. President, what are you going to talk with Trump on Wednesday?
Oh my God, that was too funny. Yeah, they're trying to say he was walking like that just to joke. No, he was trying to stay upright. Okay, so the Trumpers. Let's talk Trump and all of Trump's picks. I brought you guys some great ones. So, you guys remember Mickey Cohen, right? He was Trump's attorney that took the payment or didn't take the payment for Stormy Daniels, depending on what side of the story you believe. And he is very upset that he is getting trolled while he's trying to do a live stream. Whoever trolled him, this is hilarious.
No problem. Wow, genius you are. Can we stop with that? I appreciate it. I don't like the stupid turkeys. All right, let's just knock that stupid shit off, please. All right. I did. I said I was leaving. And then the following day, get that through your dumb heads. The following day, I turned around and I said that there's no chance in the world that I'm leaving my country. Thank you very much.
He was lying.
All right.
Not that he would lie or anything.
I'm not leaving anyway. You leave. This is my country. And I have every right, every single right within which to turn around when we stop so we can. All right, 2 seconds. I'm going to end up blocking this idiot.
That was too funny. So he's trying to be serious, right? Because he said, if Trump gets elected, I have no choice. I have to leave the country because, he ratted on Trump. He's a rat. And so somebody trolled him and started throwing filters on him. I just thought that was the funniest damn thing. Yeah, Mickey not happy. Mickey Cohen. Let's see. What the fuck? Trump and RFK Jr. created a website for people to voice their opinions on people the government is hiring and suggest potential policies. This has never been heard of anywhere. What do you guys think? You think Trump's just hanging out, waiting for people to tell him who to put into his cabinet? I've told you I'd bring in the information on Thursday. Here it is.
It's really cool. Trump and RFK actually created 2 websites this week that you haven't heard from the mainstream media. One of them allows you to create policies that the Trump administration will actually look at and make a decision on whether or not they will actually implement. The other one is for you to actually decide who are the people that they would actually put into their cabinet, because they have 4,000 positions to still fill. This is pretty cool. Here's the first one. You can go look it up. Welcome to the nominees for the people. President Trump and RFK Jr. want your help nominating people of integrity and courage for 4,000 appointments across the Trump administration. So you register on the website. You get to pick from all these categories.
Oh, I pick you.
Energy and infrastructure. There's one. You scroll down. You pick one. Right. So here's one with it looks kind of like Reddit. You pick one. You get to see their bio, their information, their resume, publications they've had, videos. Then you get to go and actually vote on the person that you want. And they might actually get chosen for the actual ticket. Isn't that crazy? This is the other one. It's called Policies for the People. How democratic is this? You get to choose a policy, and every quarter, RFK and Trump and the rest of the team will look at a policy. Maybe they'll implement it. Maybe they won't.
You guys are thinking RFK has a little more power than he actually does.
Starting with these first. Health for the people, food for the people, liberty for the people, economy for the people, peace for the people. I mean, how much more democratic can you get?
Oh my gosh. Okay, so has anybody actually gone and checked out this website? I didn't have time, and I just think it's a fucking joke. Are you serious? And to think that RFK Jr. has got some kind of power inside this Trump administration, that's not what we're hearing. We're hearing he got duped and he got played. So you're fired. We did hear that Pompeo was on the short list again, and No Pompeo, because, he tried to assassinate Julian fucking Assange, and he was a war hawk who wanted, Trump to do most of the terrible things that he fucking did. So there was a lot of talk. A lot of Trump's base was not happy about this, and Trump actually had to make a statement about it, saying that I will not be inviting former Ambassador Nikki Haley or former Secretary of State Mike Pompeo to join the Trump administration, which is currently in formation. I very much enjoyed and appreciated working with them previously, and would like to thank them for their service to our country. Make America great again. No Nikki Haley. She doesn't get to sign any more bombs. Poor Nikki. What is up? That's good news to hear that we won't have freaking neocon Nikki and freaking Pompeo in there, but what other swamp critters? There's plenty of other swamp critters that he can freaking put in his cabinet. I wonder if this is part of the reason why Trump didn't want Pompeo. Remember this?
On what Donald Trump is facing, and is it right to charge him?
Well, yeah.
Brian, good morning. Great to be with you. Two things I think are both true at this point. First, if the allegations are true, and there's lots of indications that they are, President Trump had classified documents where he shouldn't have had them, and then when given the opportunity to return them, he chose not to do that for whatever reason. That's just, Brian, you talked about me having classified documents. I handled thousands and thousands of them over my time in Congress and then as the CIA director and Secretary of State. I suppose we can all make mistakes and get them to the wrong place, but when somebody identifies that, you got to turn them in. And so that's inconsistent with protecting America's soldiers, sailors, airmen, and Marines. And if the allegations are true, some of these were pretty serious, important documents. And so that's wrong.
Betty's wishing he never did that interview. I'm so glad to see that guy, as a Julian Assange activist. Trump needs to pardon Assange. And that guy was personally responsible for prisoning Assange for all of those years. So good riddance, Pompeo. Let's see. What else does Trump have to say? I'm very surprised that the Democrats, who fought a very hard and vigilant fight in 2020 presidential election, raising a record amount of money, didn't have lots of money left over, now are being squeezed by vendors. Whatever we can do to help them during this period, I would strongly recommend we as a party, and for the sake of desperately needed unity, we have a lot of money left over. Our biggest asset in the campaign was earned media that doesn't cost very much. Make America great again. So there's Trump saying, hey, I'll give you the money. If you still trust either one of the two primary political parties in America, you're part of the problem. Right? I mean, we know that this is not going to, everybody's on cloud nine that Trump won. But at the end of the day, it's going to be more top down or, siphoning of the money to the top, and wages are going to stay stagnant. Affordable housing is still going to be unobtainable, with BlackRock buying 45% of all single house dwellings in the United States this year. It's an upward transfer of wealth, like it always has been, and it will continue to be that way. So Trump, he appealed to the everyday working class, but when it comes down to it, he's a businessman who will just fill the coffers of his buddies' pockets. So who's he going to pick for his press secretary. Who do you guys think? There's a lot of talk about Alex Jones. Wouldn't that be funny? Breaking online campaign demanding Trump makes Alex Jones his press secretary. It would be entertaining. I would watch it, right? I mean, when he had, who was it? Was it Seltzer? He was hilarious in the first round. And then, but a lot of people are saying Candace Owens. Let's see. Sabby says Trump nominee Elsa Stainflink for U.S. UN ambassador. She says Elsa is the same woman who came after college students and university for protesting on campuses and attacking university presidents. She's a rabid Zionist. Oh, they're all going to be Zionists. You know that. Trump traded Nikki Haley and Pompeo for another neocon. Here, Sabby. And that's what we're going to get. We're going to get more neocons. We're going to get deep-seated Zionists. And that's why a vote for either side of this election was a vote for Zionism. And we know that. This is Candace Owens. I think Candace Owens would probably make a good press secretary for him. What do you guys think? Let me know in the chat. Yes, no. Yes, no. It can't be any worse than Nazi Barbie, right? Or was it Crackhead Barbie? Yeah, it was Crackhead Barbie for a while.
Candace, you should be Trump's press secretary. Look, I would be very good at that job, but come on, Alex Jones, like there could be no one better suited for that job that would make us happier. We would be watching press briefings every single day like it was Game of Thrones.
There's a couple of people I want to put in as press secretary for like a month, 2 weeks to a month. That'd be where, Laura Loomer would fit in for that one. Again, Alex Jones for a month, just to put these idiots in their place. Because I'll say this.
I woke up this morning to see it trending at the top of X, Alex Jones for the new Trump press secretary. Now, this meme has been going on for 8 years, actually longer. It was even going on during the campaign in 2016. And then recently, Don Jr. came out and said, no, I think he should at least be press secretary for a few weeks, a month. Said he wasn't joking. And then now Candace Owens has come out and talked about it, and she was very gracious. And now, again, it's trending the top of X. People are having polls. The majority of them want it to happen. Let me explain why this could actually be a good idea.
Oh, shit.
The globalists have demonized me more than anybody except Trump. And the re-election of Trump, despite all the lawfare, all the fake charges, all the lies, all the hoaxes, was a repudiation of the corporate media, the deep state, the Russia hoaxes, the impeachments, everything. And it's important to let the establishment know that whoever you demonize and you attack, who is a patriot, we're going to hold them up as champions and let you know that you don't dictate to us with your distorted stories and your hoaxes and your lies who we're going to associate with. The dead corporate dinosaur media has not been very powerful for a long time, but now they're absolutely toxic and they have no power. Everything they do blows up in their face. True. And so, yes, it would be good to have someone like me to treat the corporate media with the disrespect they deserve, to explain their propagandists, their fake news, their dinosaur media. They have almost no viewers, and they're liars.
And they're liars. Yeah. So what do you guys think? Who's going to be his press secretary? Because, that's the person that we'll be looking to every day for information. And is that Joe Rogan in an Alex Jones mask? It could be, right? Yeah, you can't say that there wasn't some power behind the whole Joe Rogan podcast and, J.D. Vance and the Palantir and the Rumble machine. Yeah, there's a lot going on there. Let's see. Linda McMahon. Who is Linda McMahon? McMahon seen as a frontrunner of Leeds Trump Commerce Department. Now, some of you guys might remember her as being the wife of Vince McMahon from the SmackDown wrestling days, the World Wrestling Entertainment. Yeah, that's right. Let's see. She is married to Vince McMahon, right? And this woman she left wrestling a couple of years ago so she could come head up commerce. These are the type of people that Trump is looking at and tapping. It's going to be a real shit show when they start naming these for sure. Let's see. Oh, and everybody thinks that RFK Jr. is going to be head of Human Health Services. That's not. We're hearing from the Trump campaign administration that he doesn't even have a role. They're not going to name him to anything. He's going to have access to data, and that is it. Yes, that's exactly what we've been told. So all these people that flocked to Trump and voted for Trump, which I know many, because they thought RFK Jr. was going to get in there and make us healthier, you guys got sold a rotten lemon again. Some are saying it's because of the worm. Remember, RFK Jr. had a worm in his brain? The moment when the worm gets to RFK Jr.'s brain and realizes he's going to starve. Yes, he's going to starve. Let's see what does Bobby have to say?
This is what most Americans innocently put into their bodies these days, and most alarmingly, into the bodies of their children. And it's no coincidence that Americans die earlier than Canadians or Germans or Italians or Japanese or Koreans or Australians or most any other comparable country. And it wasn't always that way. Until the early 1990s, our life expectancy was the same or better than other developed countries. Then suddenly, more and more Americans began suffering from chronic diseases, from obesity, cancer, diabetes, kidney disease, Alzheimer's, heart disease, and all kinds of autoimmune diseases. Our maternal mortality rate soared to the highest of any developed country on Earth. Same with infant mortality. Like the frog in the slowly boiling water, we didn't really notice as we got sicker and sicker. We've grown now to accept chronic disease conditions as normal. But now, in 2024, we're finally waking up to this cataclysm, and we're asking ourselves, how in the world did this happen? Well, a big part of it is our diet. Restaurants that serve contaminated food are fined or shut down. But when it's the government that approves the poisons in our food, a few people get very, very rich, and the toxins end up in every supermarket aisle. Let me show you what I mean. Doritos, Cheez-Its, Cap'n Crunch, gummy bears. Everyone knows that these are junk foods, so maybe you wouldn't be too surprised to see that the ingredients include a lot of poisons, including a harmful yellow dye called tatrazine, or yellow dye number 5. What you may not know is that this dye was originally made out of the sludge that's left over when you turn coal into coke for blast furnaces. It's called coal tar, and I've actually sued many big industries for legacy contamination of coal tar all around the country because it's so toxic and it's so harmful to the environment and human beings. A century ago, it was just an obnoxious industrial byproduct that everybody was trying to figure out ways to get rid of. One of the ways that they did that was by paving roads. But then a British chemist figured out that the coal tar could be used to derive fabric dye. And if fabric dye, why not food? Food manufacturers began using it to cover up the discoloration of low-quality foods that they wanted to pass off on unsuspecting customers. They didn't know back then that this yellow dye, tartrazine, causes tumors, asthma, developmental delays, neurological damage, ADD, ADHD,
like me,
hormone disruption, gene damage, anxiety, depression, intestinal injuries. Well, we know it now. We've known this for decades. That's why tartrazine is heavily restricted in other countries. In some countries, foods with tartrazine have a warning label that it may cause ADHD in children. Today, it's made from petroleum, not coal tar. Either way, it's crazy to add this to your kids' favorite foods. It doesn't even change the flavor.
Oh my gosh, yeah. So do you think that he's going to have any power inside this administration, or did they just use him? I think they just used him, honestly. I mean, I think Trump appreciates what he says, but I don't think he's going to have much power inside of it. Yeah, is that where Trump's Cheeto look comes from? Are they dipping him in this tretazine or whatever it's called? Theo Vaughn, did you guys see Theo Vaughn was over on Joe Rogan the other day, and he dropped some truths about Zionism and who controls the world that kind of freaked him out. But I think this is, let's see, what is this? Slow News Day. This comes from Steve over at Slow News Day. Says Elon has never and will never create shit. He has the resources to get people to make or say basically whatever he wants, though. Which is inherently more dangerous. A creative person would ask questions. Incurious trust fund kinds just demand shit and throw a hissy if it goes wrong. Let's see. What is this? Play.
It was interesting because the beginning of the night, no one knew what was going to happen. So you're watching the first results roll in, and it's like this weird thing. And then Trump gets way ahead, but you're like, you don't want to like get too hopeful. Like, how far ahead is he? He's ahead by 100 points. That seems like a lot.
Yeah, and you're like, what is it? And some channels are like, and then every channel's kind of different.
Yeah. They had different numbers. I was getting a different number off my Apple News update than I was getting off of CNN. And then I was texting people like Tulsi and J.D. Vance. I was getting a different Apparently, Elon created an app, and he knew who won 4 hours before the results.
He paid somebody to create
So as the results were coming in, 4 hours before they called it, Dana White told me, Elon was like, I'm leaving. It's over. Donald won. He just fucking somehow or another.
I'm going to go back into my pod and evaporate.
I don't know what he's getting, where he's pulling his data from, but he had like the most accurate data in terms of the rural states hadn't put the results in yet, but yet Trump was ahead in these states. Kamala's never going to win those states, so tabulated that and like put it all together. I don't know how he did it. But Dana, I haven't even talked to Elon about this. I don't know like the Dana translation, but Dana said he had an app, and he was like showing him. He's like, it's over. And he fucking left. Dude just left.
It's over. John Jones won. Just saying that.
He just fucking left.
DARPA boy doesn't create anything, and we know that. So obviously somebody made that app for him because the guy, from what I hear, doesn't even know how to code. Crazy. So when your boss's income has risen 940% in 1978 and yours has only increased 12%, it's time to stop blaming minorities for problems. Yeah, for sure. Tariffs. Let's talk tariffs. Everybody's freaking out over tariffs. So Trump's first thing he wants to do is he wants to throw tariffs on everything, which tariffs, if we actually produced and manufactured shit in our country, wouldn't be that bad. They might actually be a help, but we don't produce or manufacture shit in this country, which just means us poor people are going to be paying the price for fucking tariffs. So, yeah, here's some fear mongering by MSNBC, Case Study QB. Shout out.
First of all, the stock market was doing extraordinarily well. Yeah. We have the best economy in the world, right? This is the head scratcher, right? That one of the main reasons President Trump won is because people are unhappy with the economy, which is the best economy in the world. Yes. And we've had an extraordinary stock market run. We've got the strongest NATO alliance we've had in decades, and people don't like the status quo. Well, but that's where we are.
He's going to declare victory on Inauguration Day, be like, we fixed it, the same economy. As soon as the clock ticked over, Stephanie Ruhle.
I personally feel like Donald Trump speaks to people's grievances better than Democrats do. I know people are going to talk about misinformation and the dumbing down of society. I understand all of that, but you don't have to be intelligent to know you can't pay your bills. You don't have to be intelligent to know you can't afford groceries. People will forget what you did, they will forget what you said, but they will never forget how you made them feel.
Okay, well, there you go. Yeah. Our economy is so bad right now. For us at the bottom, we know it, but everybody else seems to be doing well. Let's see. Hundreds of January 6 writers are on the verge of escaping charges. Oh, no. I think that all of the J6ers should be pardoned, and I kind of hope that Trump does that. We all know it was a setup. We saw it in real time. Oz and I were on air for that inauguration. We knew that Pelosi had stepped down Capitol Security, D.C. Metro. Yeah, this was a setup. And why was it set up? So they could get it on paper that he's an insurrectionist. So that way, because don't think they're going to let Trump just waltz right in on January 20th or whenever inauguration is. I don't see that happening. I see some fuckery happening here in the next couple of months because the Dems, they're just being too quiet and too sneaky. They're being very, very sneaky. So I think that the 14th Amendment, Section 3 will come into play at some point in the next 2.5 months. And that, you know, that is the insurrectionists. What do you guys think in the chat? You guys think they're going to try to pull this? It's unconstitutional. You can't be a president because you were part of an insurrection. I do. I did have an article for this, but we've got such a deep deck today. I am going to skip it. Let's see, what is this? It can't be done, and this is how. It can be done, and this is how it is. So Italy imposes a full arms embargo on Israel. Yay! Way to go, Israel! And now that Trump's elected, we're seeing headlines from Newsweek like Hamas calls for immediate end to war after Trump election win. bullshit. Hamas has been calling for an immediate end of war since day fucking one. They've been trying to negotiate, and Netanyahu in Israel has refused to negotiate with them. So, F off Newsweek. This is just bullshit. So, a senior Hamas official has called for an immediate end to Israel's war against the group in the Gaza Strip and is planning to plan to achieve it. So, we woke up this morning seeing another refugee camp full of children being bombed. Yeah, good go. Good go, Israel. Good go. 2 million, apparently 2 million Jews have now left the state of Israel. They don't even have enough people to, fund, or they don't have enough people to fill the ranks of their occupying force. That's how bad it's getting for Israel right now. And boy, I guess they didn't see that coming, did they? Ro Khanna. Oh my God, not Ro Khanna, Oz. I can't read this. Let's see. I'm deeply disturbed by the attacks on Israel civilians in Amsterdam who were simply watching a soccer game. The ugly anti-Semitic must be condemned, and the Dutch must hold those who committed the crimes accountable. Oz says, hey, asshole, how about these civilians? You are disgusting. We are holding you and the entire Congress accountable. Shame, shame, shame. Yes. So if you guys didn't know, there was a soccer match that went down in Amsterdam, and a bunch of Zionist Jews decided they were going to show up and start chanting, or Israelis, about and singing about dead babies and how they love to stomp on their graves. And guess what? They got their asses handed to them. And bravo to the Dutch freaking people who went out there and beat their asses down, because that's what the whole world wants to do. And now, of course, it's an outcry for the rest of the world. Terrible. Don't take your hate to another country. That's what it comes down to. Not everybody thinks like you. Not everybody's as genocidal as you. 5 through 9. Palestinian children age 5 to 9 represent the single biggest age category of those killed in Gaza. Oh, Oz, that is terrible. Oz dropped that on the deck. We knew that. We knew that from the feeds of dead children and dead babies that we see every day, which has really lightened since the election. Have you guys noticed? I'm not seeing as much on Israel in my news feeds. It's kind of strange and odd, right? I had to actually go look to get updates. Very heartbreaking. I mean, we've killed all the parents. Of course, the only left is the children. So sad. Let's look at Gaza. Did you guys see this video? I saw it in the back of Nico's video, but look, this is Gaza right now. They say, oh, we'll turn it into a parking lot. It's a parking lot. Look at this shit. All that waterfront property. How many babies are buried under those piles of rubble? Children, women. You cannot build a holy land on a mass grave of children. And that's what they're trying to do. I'm sure Deborah Messing's got her freaking waterfront condo already picked out, though. That is so terrible. Look at that annihilation, and that was done with all of our weapons, our bombs that we're making here in America. Made in America. Oh, that's terrible. Moving on. God, we're not even halfway through this deck. Khaleesi, let's see, Congressman Thomas Massey proposes a ban on dual citizenship for lawmakers. A must first step for America first. I agree. You guys know we've talked about the dual citizenship. About half of our freaking Senate is a dual citizen of Israel. And how are you not a foreign agent if you're carrying a double passport? I agree with Thomas Massey. I would love to see Thomas Massey get some kind of a position in Trump's administration. I think that he's maybe one of the only ones left on the fucking hill that's worth a shit. Yeah, right? Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk do a ton of objectively bad stuff, but I just want to be clear that the mere act of holding on to that much money in the world with this much inequality in itself is brutally evil action, and alone makes them bad people. I gotta agree. Retired people should be completely tax-free or tax-exempt. They already paid their dues. I do agree with that. I think that if you are a senior citizen, you should not be paying frickin' taxes on your Social Security again. And I think that Social Security needs to be raised. The world's 10 richest people get a record $64 billion richer from Trump's re-election. Aw, I wonder where that came from. Come on. They're all one big club, and we're not a part of it. Let's hear what he has.
What was your reaction when he said that you and Paul were part of the enemy within?
Well, nothing is surprising coming from him. But you have to remember, when Paul was attacked, and before we even knew if he was dead or alive,
he was dead or alive.
What's his name was making a joke of it on the social media. He and his children and the Republican governor of Virginia and the Elon Musk, they were making a joke of it, and they thought that was funny. So there's something sick about all of this. But you know what? We don't agonize. We organize. We just have to win this election. And every day that he says something like this in these last days, when people are really keenly aware and paying attention, works in the favor of Kamala Harris.
It didn't work in the
those
favor,
who are breaking from the undecided are breaking overwhelmingly for her.
That's not going to age well. Hammer time. Why have we never heard an interview with that guy? Not one fucking journalist across this entire fucking country can reach out to the Hammer dude and have a conversation with him. Like, why did you do that? What were you thinking? Who put you up to it? It's so weird. That story to this day rubs me wrong. There is something hanky-panky about that fucking story, and we all know what it is. That is Paul Pelosi likes to get a little freaky, and he found somebody who got too freaky, it sounds like. That's a crazy... why would you... I didn't even know Paul was alive. That's too funny. I can't possibly afford to eat like this, $12.99. No problem, $24.83. Oh my gosh, yes. Okay, so... last week, I did radiation and chemo last week. Last week was just a blur to me. I know I spent 4 hours on air, but I don't even remember any of it. So, on the last night, I was too tired to cook. And you guys know, every now and then I'll treat myself and let myself have something to eat that I'm not supposed to. So, I went to go get good food, but the restaurant was closed. And the only thing that was open was Dairy Queen. So, I ordered two burger meals. And you get a blizzard or something with it. $45 fucking dollars. $45 for two people to eat at Dairy Queen. I about fell over when she told me the frickin' total. I mean, okay, I was thinking maybe $30. $45 freaking dollars. Yeah, it's cheaper to cook at home. Cook at home. It's healthier for you too. You know, you're not eating a bunch of poison and seed oils. 97% of scientists agree with whatever they're funding, whoever's funding them. Oh, yeah, it's true. It's true. Oh, did you guys see this crazy story? 43 monkeys. Yeah, monkeys. 43 monkeys that were being used for vaccine development escaped from a lab in Yemassee, South Carolina on Wednesday and are currently on the loose. This video, taken near the facility on Wednesday afternoon, appears to show shadowy figures moving through the woods. CBS News cannot confirm that the figures are the missing monkeys. People are advised to not to try to capture, feed, or handle these monkeys. According to the CDC, some monkeys can be carrying bee virus. What is bee virus? Which can be deadly to people. Even if a monkey doesn't appear to be ill, it still could be infected. The monkeys are wild animals, even if they have been raised around people. Like any wild animal, they may bite, spit, and scratch when frightened. For this reason, people should not attempt to capture, feed, or handle the escaped monkeys. Yeah, isn't this the way that Walking Dead started? Pretty sure this is how Walking Dead fucking started. I don't see them. Where's the monkeys? I don't see them.
Yeah, I saw they went left. They're behind that ridge now.
Oh, they went left. Oh, okay, I saw one. Oh, yeah. Wow. Has anybody caught any of these? I mean, there's been no update. CBS News comes out, tells us to be scared. There's monkeys running around with bee virus. And then, story's over. This is how the next pandemic's going to start. This is 12 monkeys. Yeah, no shit. We know the last time what happened when monkeys escaped. Yeah. Meanwhile, in Yosemite County, is that how you say it? Monkey on tour. They're just living their best life. Yeah, leave the monkeys alone. Let them live their best lives. That's a crazy-ass story. This is a ccrazy-ass story, too. Oregon ambulance struck cyclists and then billed them $1,800 for a ride to the hospital. William 71 is suing Columbia River Fire and Rescue Department for $1 million for injuries and medical expenses. Oops, my bad. Oops. Oops. Well, yeah, we hit you, but get in the ambulance and we'll bill you for it. That's crazy. Conspiracy Corner. What do we got in Conspiracy Corner? Whitney Webb. Whitney Webb has been trying to warn us all for the last, many years, but for the last year, she has been screaming her head off about central digital currencies and how under the Trump administration, which was allowed to win, that they're going to roll out the new track trace system on us, which will include everything, including Elon's X, which will be the WeChat of America, that will include your social credit score. So let's hear from Whitney Webb, because not enough people are listening to Whitney Webb.
U.S. intelligence, or really any intelligence agency today, can frame anyone they want for a cyber attack. We know this from one of the last WikiLeaks releases called Vault 7, where it revealed that among the CIA's hacking tools were the ability to place the fingerprints of adversary states, or really any group they wanted, into hacks that were actually conducted by the CIA itself. Basically a tool to create cyber false flags for any purpose. And the current CIA director is the person that was in charge of the Carnegie Endowment when they created these papers with the biggest private banks and central banks in the world about a cyber attack on the financial system and how that would push for a merging of data sharing between banks and the CIA and intelligence.
The future isn't just on the horizon. It's already here, and it's far more unsettling than you might think. The essential pieces for a radical overhaul of the global financial system, stablecoins, tokenized deposits, and public-private partnerships are quietly being set into place. But what's missing? A trigger. In a revealing conversation with James Patrick, investigative journalist Whitney Webb warns of a looming threat, which is the central bank digital currencies, CBDCs. Once they're fully implemented, the idea of financial privacy may become a thing of the past. Tied to digital IDs, these currencies would allow governments and corporations to monitor every transaction, tracking your every move. Under the guise of protecting against money laundering or fighting terrorism, these systems could enable unprecedented levels of state surveillance over the financial activities of ordinary citizens. What's worse, CBDCs won't replace the traditional banking powers. They'll strengthen them. Institutions like JP Morgan and Citigroup are already making strategic moves with stablecoins and tokenized deposits, positioning themselves at the forefront of this new reality. In short, the future of finance is closer than you think, and it's designed to benefit the powerful while placing your freedom at risk.
So my advice to you is get that money out of the bank and get it buried in coffee cans in the backyard, because they're going to crash our economy at some point. Let's see now, where are we? Jilly sent me this one. This is freaking terrifying. The WEF, the WEF, Psycho openly talks about torturing people and implementing fake memories to mind control people. You simply can't hate these psychopaths enough. Yeah, Jilly, you can't hate these psychopaths enough, for sure. Thanks for sending me this. Check this out.
Having seen that person commit the crime, even though that person's utterly innocent, that it becomes a planted memory. And so there's some really interesting research that we can plant false memories in the brain. And in a different context, one of the emerging areas that's really interesting in law neuroscience is pain detection. And once we understand the circuitries that cause pain, I guess the question is, could we then instill pain and use that in many coercive measures in the legal system as well? So.
Wow, that's amazing. Did you want to add anything, Brian?
Oh, wow, that's amazing. That's amazing. We could instill pain into people when they don't do what we want them to do, and plant false memories, and just completely just run with it, because we're the World Economic Forum. We can do what we want. That is fucking crazy. Oh my God, Jilly. Crazy, crazy. Ray Kushner's been saying this shit for years. Do you ever follow Ray Kushner? You know, Jason Burmis has always done a really good job of covering that insane man's takes on the future. Let's see. All funded by technocrat Peter Thiel, who is Palantir, which is in QTEL. Yeah. Which is the virtual capital arm of the CIA. That is right. So all of those who think that Donald Trump had some kind of victory over the CIA, no, it was planned this way, guys. It was hand in hand. They've got a plan, and they need all of these little asshats right here to do their part, so that way they can roll out this new World Economic Forum, CBDC, freaking coup that they're gonna do. So yeah, Donald Trump. It's kind of telling, right? I don't always say I told you so, but when I do, it's because I told you so. Yeah, we've been talking about this for a long time. Yeah, Ray Kurzweil, that guy is fucking insane, huh? Mastermind. Go watch some of that shit, man. He is crazy. Smoking his cigarettes, his hair's crazy. Like, that guy creeps me out. Let's see, what do we got here? The Great Delusion. Look at my new clean green car. Yeah, it's powered by coal. Yeah. Gavin Newsom, he's going to switch his state over. And where is all that power coming from? Coal. Yeah, coal. And Hollywood, go F yourself. Let's see. We finally made it to that. What do we got in here? Robert De Niro. Who was crying the hardest about how much he hates Donald Trump? That's right, Robert De Niro. Well, I think he might have stepped in it with his 4-inch platform shoes. And Warner Brothers says bye-bye, because you can't piss off half the country and have them still come out and watch your movies. So check this out.
This is where things begin to erupt within the overall studio known as Warner Brothers. Now, you guys may know Warner Brothers. They are the very studio that created Joker 1 and Joker 2, which, by the way, was abysmal, and was supposed to have flashback scenes of Murray by Robert De Niro that did not work out for various reasons. We talked about that briefly. But with the film industry and the entire Hollywood bubble facing major backlash right now from the general public, one major development that is brewing now involves more to do with Robert De Niro and how a major studio recently fired him and removed him from 2 projects after he has been getting so much backlash after all the comments that he has made over the past couple of months, especially recently. It turns out, in a shocking update to the situation, that De Niro was set to reprise his role as a mobster, or a mob boss, if you will, for a new major film title from Warner Brothers for 2027. The same studio that created both Joker 1 and 2, where De Niro's flashback scenes, like I said before, were axed for the Joker sequel. It turns out that David Zaslav, the CEO of Warner Brothers, and the many executives there had a recent falling out with De Niro after they picked up on his unhinged comments that he had made toward the general public and toward a specific individual.
So there you are. His words come back to bite him in the ass. You guys saw that video I brought you last week where he was standing in New York screaming about this motherfucker. Yeah, well, you just alienated half of your viewing audience, and Warner Brothers doesn't want to put money on a movie that nobody's going to go fucking see, just like they did with Joker 2, which I went and saw Joker 2. Worst movie ever. I mean, Joaquin was great. Yeah, Lady Gaga can sing and act. That's fine. There was no plot. It didn't stick to the original Joker type of, America needed a fuck the system type of movie, and that movie was not it. So, losers. Oz dropped this one for us. Let's see what this is. Are you supporting any of these folks? Alec Baldwin, Whoopi Goldberg, John Legend, Christy Teigen, Rob Reiner, Barbara Streisand, Cher, Nancy Pelosi, Hillary Clinton, and Megan Rapaport. Yeah, no, we hate all these people. We make fun of all these people constantly. I like how everybody's blaming George Clooney lately. Absolutely done here, says. Not just because of their character, though. There's a fine enough reason out, because they've been raking in cash while playing the worst kind of puppet masters. They've helped spin the wheel of the toxic social conditioning, getting cozy with industry fat cats and agenda-driven powerhouses, being foreign and domestic. Hollywood might want to take a long, hard look in the mirror and ask itself if it still remembers how to entertain without political megaphone in a hand. So yeah, thanks for the few decent memories, but it's time to rewrite the script. Yes, absolutely, Oz. We are tired. Entertain us. Yes, that's all we want, Hollywood. Just fucking entertain us and keep your goddamn mouth shut. You guys live in your gated communities, your little bubbles, and you try to tell us how it's going to be. And we're not buying it anymore. I am so done. I just don't even watch TV anymore. Like, since I got sick, I don't know what it is. I won't even turn Netflix on. I have Netflix. I have all that. Well, I fell asleep normally, but I refuse to watch any of this crap. So, moving stars leaving the country this way. Yeah, bye. Please keep your word. Do what you say you're going to do. Yay! We made it to Meme Alley. It's been a long show. I'm tired, and I have another round of radiation in an hour. Every day, 5 days a week, I do radiation, and radiation is whooping my ass, guys. I'm so fatigued and tired, and I mean, chemo makes you sick, but radiation just zaps you. Like, it's a chore for me to get up and do anything. Like, I have to set goals like, okay, I'm going to do the dishes. I'm going to take a shower. I'm going to clean off my desk. Like, I have to just set so many goals for the day because I just am so wiped out. And it's not good to stay in bed all the time. So let's zip through some Meme Alley, get the hell out of here so I can go get cooked, barbecued. We got some good memes today. You know, you don't get out of the trailer park till you go through Meme Alley. So let's see. Things are going to start getting worse again. How are you not fearing this? Newsflash, asshole. Things have been getting worse the entire goddamn time. Yeah, that's sad but true. Sad but true. And a country ran by banks will always be in debt. Healthcare ran by big pharma will never cure disease. A state ran by war will never know peace. And a nation run by media will never know the truth. And white men are the problem in America. Then why the fuck you trying to look like one? Good point, Ice Cube. And me getting ready for work when there's a chick selling her farts in a jar for $50K a week. Yeah. That's true. And Pink Floyd is the answer. Yes, Pink Floyd is always the answer. I gotta agree. How I sleep knowing I said what I said and I meant it. Yeah, that's how I sleep. Definitely. And I meant it. And buckle up, assholes. Yeah, bye. Joyanne Reed. Man, she's just the angriest, isn't she? Some people will love you as long as you fit in their box. Don't be afraid to shove that box up their ass. Yeah, that's a good point. And my toxic trait is not letting anyone else clean because it's not clean unless I clean it and then get mad when no one helps me clean. I'm very guilty of that one, right? It's got to be done my way. Just get out of my way. I'll do it myself. And then nobody ever helps me. Let's have illegal immigrants hunt down sex offenders for a chance at citizenship. We'll call it Alien versus Predator. Oh, no, that's so bad. Oh, that's a bad one. And liberals be like, I'm on sex strike. And, oh, yeah, I'm definitely seeing the similarities. God, why do they all have those crazy eyes? They got the crazy Manson eyes going on. Definitely crazy eyes. And the secret to life is to waste time in ways that you like. Definitely. I want to waste some time. We used to go shopping at Walmart at 2 a.m. And we did. We did go shopping at Walmart at 2 a.m., but COVID took care of that. And humanity has been fooled to believe that the next great step for mankind is to develop more and more technology. The truth is that technology agenda we are moving towards is meant to create a dystopian era of totalitarianism under the control of AI. The real great step for humanity is to deepen our connections with nature. This will put us in a much better position physically, mentally, and spiritually. Nature gives us everything we need to live a happy and healthy life with freedom. Absolutely. That was a good one. And the system is broken. It was designed that way. Save the fetus, starve the child. Use the soldier, ignore the vet. Glorify the CEO, bankrupt the employees. True. Very true. This is your friendly reminder that snow tires are probably a better investment than the Stanley Cup this winter. Yeah, I don't understand this whole Stanley Cup thing. What? My granddaughter had to have one. It's bigger than her head. Like, I have cups. Does it have to say Stanley on it? What is that? And My alien waiting for me to stop looking at memes and fall asleep so he can abduct me. This motherfucker. Do you guys think we're going to get some alien disclosure under Trump? We're hearing that we will. He's going to declassify all the alien stuff. That'll be cool. If you enjoyed 9/11 and COVID-19 show, you're going to love the alien invasion. Oh, coming soon to a theater near you. Capitalism. Who the fuck are you? Fascism. I'm you when times are tough. That's pretty true. Pretty accurate. And let's see. Hollywood flying to Canada. Uh-oh. That's funny. And what do we got here? Me, if gas and house prices keep going up. Yeah, this is definitely a solid plan. And climate change is basically just nature giving humans a deadline to overthrow capitalism. Oh, that's a good one. And I do not wonder if animals have souls, but I have concerns about some people. Yeah, I do. And Ernest Hemingway said, the best people pose a feeling for beauty, the courage to take risks, the discipline to tell the truth, the capacity for sacrifice. Ironically, their virtues make them vulnerable. They are often wounded, sometimes destroyed. Oh, thanks, Oz. That was very nice. Very nice. Okay, guys, I think we are out of here. You guys want to help me out? There is donation links down below, but please go help Rome out. I don't have his GoFundMe linked, but I'm sure you can find it over. I shared it on my X, so you can find it there. And let's see. Join us for Beauty and the Boomer on Saturday night. We will be up on the Beauty and the Boomer channel. Let's see what we've got in store for Beauty and the Boomer. Oz gave us a little sample. Let's sample it. Four non-blondes. Love me some four non-blondes. I wish I had hair. Makes me sad to see me with hair. Nice. Wow, she looks just like Linda Perry. Okay, so that is our magic thumbnail for Saturday. Join us, 7 o'clock, normal time. We will be up on all channels. Make sure that you follow the new channel. Thank you so much for sharing Rome's GoFundMe. Let's get it out there. Let's share it. Even if you can't donate, please share it because you might get it in front of somebody's eyes that can donate to it. And let's help out Brother Rome. Make sure you guys follow the new channel. You know, we're building new channels just to have backup channels because YouTube is doing its YouTube-y thing. And I have got, let's see. Thank you guys so much. Oh, Bad Cookie, good to see you. Fingerman's hanging out. Good to see you guys. Thank you guys so much for hanging out the whole show. I'm pretty tired. That was a long show, but we got through it. So no more show till Saturday. We'll be back Saturday night. And I've got a great closer for you guys. Let's see. I got it loaded into, it is... Yeah, we're going to go out with some Lunatic Fringe, Red Rider, because, you know, these guys have been crazy. We are on the Lunatic Fringe, if you ask me. But Oz went and engineered this one for me, so I could run it from the studio. Let me get it started. There we go. Okay, guys, I am out of here. I hope you guys have the best week ever, and don't let the craziness get you down. And I will see you guys Saturday night. And remember, you're always welcome at the trailer park.